Good afternoon from the National Service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. This is Newsline, 30 minutes of news from the news department about Liberia and the rest of our one world. Today is Wednesday, January 18, 2023. With this afternoon's presentation, my name is Titi Jibro. And the headlines: Foreign Minister D. Maxwell Kimaya hails Liberia, Vatican, DR Congo relations. Education Ministry records massive enrollment of female students across the country. Associate Justice Yamin Dese vows to dispense justice without fear or favor and away from Liberia. Gambia Vice President Badara Aliu Joff dies in India after shock illness. Also coming up is an ELBC commentary titled "Let the Media Take the Bull by the Horns in Maintaining the Country's Peace and Stability." Sports, the news in simple Liberian English, French, a report of today's weather are also packaged. First, Zokwe Beslokonen sets the pace with a bulletin of news.
Foreign Minister D. Maxwell Kimaya Tuesday received in audience two ambassadors designated to Liberia at his Foreign Ministry office on the Capitol Hill. There are Ambassador Designate of the Vatican, Archbishop Walter Irby, Apostolic Nuncio of the Vatican, and Marie Helen Omba of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Receiving copies of the credentials from the Ambassador Designate of the Vatican, Minister Kimaya hailed the cordial bilateral relations between Liberia and the Vatican. He assured the Ambassador Designate of Liberia's determination to strengthen cooperation with the Vatican aimed at enhancing the growth and development for Liberia. At the same time, Minister Kimaya recounted the historic ties between Liberia and DR Congo dating back to the 1960s. He expressed confidence that the Liberia-DR Congo relations will be marked by excellent achievements through bilateral cooperation during the tenure of Ambassador Omba. President George Weah has begun the distribution of free safety jackets to local fishermen across the country. The exercise will kick off this Friday, January 20, in the borough of New Crew Town. The move is part of the Liberian leaders' promise of improving the fisheries sector and making local fishermen and fish-dependent communities live dignified lives. Addressing fishermen during an awareness in Margibi County Tuesday, NAFA Director General Eman Glasgow said President Weah is concerned about the safety of the fishermen. The NAFA Director General is at the same time rallying local fishermen across the country to turn out in their numbers for the distribution ceremony in New Crew Town on Friday. The Supreme Court of Liberia now has a full bench following the confirmation and subsequent commissioning of Associate Justice Yamin Gbese. According to the Constitution, the Supreme Court shall be headed by a Chief Justice and assisted by 4 Associate Justices. In September 2022, leadership gaps began at the nation's highest court following the retirement of former Chief Justice Francis Kokpo and subsequent preferment of Justice Siainen Yo as Chief Justice. Meanwhile, Associate Justice Yamin Gbese has vowed to use his conscience and law to dispense justice without fear or favor. In his post-commissioning remarks Tuesday, Justice Gbese promised to be neutral, independent, and impartial in the dispensation of justice. Prior to his new portfolio, Justice Gbese also served as relieving judge. Senate Pro Tempore Abbott Che has begun querying several heads of committees. The chairman of the Senate Committees on Health, Education, Defense, and Judiciary were queried Tuesday to provide status reports on instruments before them. The Senate pro tem was concerned about the status of the public health law, the female genital mutilation bill, and the aid to establish the West Africa Police Information Service. Others are an aid to establish the Engineering Society of Liberia, an aid to endorse the National Youth Policy of Liberia, and a bill seeking to amend certain portions of the Revenue Code of Liberia. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Senate Committees on Health and Judiciary, Senators Augustine Chie and Viney Sherman, have requested for additional time to report to plenary. Maryland County Senator James Biney is rallying the collective support of his colleagues to help transform the country instead of only focusing on challenges being faced. It followed reports from various senators on difficulties being experienced by their constituencies. The senators, including Milton Tiaji, Simeon Taylor, Yombly Kanga Lawrence, and Blebo Brown, named bad road condition and lack of sufficient drugs at hospitals across the country as some of the difficulties faced. But speaking in the chamber of the Senate Tuesday, Senator Biney maintained that senators are elected to deliver and help alleviate constraints faced by the people. He noted that the legislature should find a new way to address the concern of the people through budgetary allocation instead of just voicing out the challenges. Grand Bassa County Senator Jonathan Kaipe says he is optimistic of winning the 2023 senatorial election in the county. Speaking to legislative reporters on Capitol Hill Tuesday, Senator Kaipe said he sees no major contender in the race. The Grand Bassa County Senator noted that his optimism of winning is based on the level of work he has done in the county.
Well, I don't see any major challenger. When I participated in 2014, I challenged the then sitting pro tem of the Liberian Senate. In a recent Bassa history, I am the only senator that won the 5 electoral district in Grand Bassa County. With the level of work we've done, we have no doubt.
Senator Carper named the construction of bridges, rehabilitation of roads, and provision of grants to women in the county, amongst others, as some of his deliverables. He was elected in 2014 when he defeated then Senate Pro Tem Besonga Finley. And the Ministry of Education has reported high female enrollment in schools across the country. IRAS project coordinator and technical lead Abraham Kiazulu attributed the high enrollment to the IRAS project. Mr. Kiazulu said the IRAS project is having 2 scholarship programs, with one mainly targeting girls' education.
Zokwe Beslokana returns later on during the program with our foreign development and weather report. One of the top stories this afternoon, Education Ministry records massive enrollment